Hey, this is Tiffany. Welcome back to my channel. I want to talk about something that has occasionally crossed my mind, and I don't think I've seen anybody else talk about it. But I was thinking about the differences between Latin countries and the U.S. And as I have my little Latino baby trying to stop my recording. Yeah, someone who's not Latino or not Latina, but I've grown up with everybody and have observed a lot of Latinos in different spaces and watching telenovelas with then eventually marrying one and having a baby. The difference between Latin Americans and United Statesans. I like to say I'm a United Statesman because America has like a ton of different countries. And Dominican Republic, where his father's from, is the first in the Americas. But there are so many colors of Latinos, and there's always this thing where somebody's like, "Oh, they don't look Latino," or "Why I think that person's Latino," and really what they're saying is that they're mixed, right? Or that they look indigenous, because there's no Latino look. What are you doing? When people say, "Oh, that person looks Mexican," what they're really saying is usually that they look indigenous, because most Mexicans have at least 50%, Native American ancestry. Latinos, the look that people think Latinos look like is somebody that's mixed with, African, indigenous, European. But the thing is, I've known Asian Latinos who were specifically had Chinese ancestry but grew up in Venezuela. Obviously, there are white Latinos, there are black Latinos. I mean, the most black people outside of Africa are in Latin America, because that was the first place that they took enslaved Africans. So what I'm saying is we all have the same. We all have the sameness of Latin America and the U.S. is like we all have different colors. But why is it that why is there a difference when somebody says they're from the U.S. but they're black or they're white or whatever, and someone says I'm Latino, and that is the culture. I don't even know if you hear me because he's talking so loud. All to him, please. Okay, it's the culture. Good or bad, Africanness, indigenousness have been usurped or have been integrated, or the foundation of what it means to be Latino. I don't even know if I can do this video. Oh my gosh. Okay. So whether you are white or you're Asian or you're black, being Latino means, well, depending on what country you're from, being Latino means you eat bachata, you eat mofongo, you have pupusas, whatever. It's the same culture. You can be, you listen to the same music. But here, if you're like, I'm from the United States, that could mean a lot of different things. Let's try this again, because he stopped my video. You could be from the United States, and it doesn't mean you have a shared experience, shared food, shared culture. You could be in the United States and have never had soul food, or you could be in the United States and have never had green bean casserole, So I think that's the difference. And it's crazy how the U.S. is known as a melting pot, and it's not at all. It's very segregated. It's very, only certain things are allowed into what American culture is. And Latin America is the real melting pot, because there is a difference with if you were going to date interracially. here versus date interracially in Latin America, there might be the issue of race still or colorism, but you have the same culture if you're in Latin America. Here, no. And I doubt there's the issue of, oh, you're not Black enough, or you're not whatever because you don't do this. I doubt there's that issue in Latin America. It's not like, you know, there's different ways that you grow up. You grow up usually having the same things that everybody else has. So, like, I didn't grow up on soul food. I grew up more on, like, green bean casserole or pumpkin pie, because my grandmother was from a small town in Pennsylvania, where her family was one of 2 Black families there. So, I didn't have those things until later in life. And I don't even like sweet potato pie. So, I've been told many times, oh, you're a white Black girl, or you're whatever. And that doesn't seem like, I've never heard a Black Latina say something like that. Like, they have that experience where it's like, you're not Black enough as a Latina, because it seems like everyone has this a similar culture. Obviously, if you have different ancestry, you'll have certain differences. But really, you're growing up in the same culture. It's no, you know, this is white culture. This is this culture. It's the same culture. And that is what I've observed. And I feel like I had so many more thoughts, but he is so distracting me right now. And yeah, it'll be interesting seeing how he grows up, because he's going to have a little bit of both things. He has not been to DR yet, but he will go later this year. I speak Spanish to him and English. He understands both right now, and he is saying some words in both right now. But yeah, I never liked mango until I was pregnant with him, and that's how I knew I was pregnant, because I'm like, I have a Caribbean baby inside of me. But yeah, like, I feel like I have so many profound things to say, but yeah, the whole like culture thing has always stood out to me. Race, ethnicity, things, people get confused. I used to work for the state of Pennsylvania as a caseworker, and it was a time where they took off Latino as an option for your race, because it's not a race. And then some people come to me like, I don't see Latino. I'm like, well, because it's not a race. So they would just like write it in, and they're like, but I'm Latino. I'm like, yeah, but you're like mixed. You're like, you know. So I've always had like that knowledge, or I grew up with that knowledge at some point, because, you know, I knew Dominicans, and, you know, to me, I was like, I thought they were just, you know, Black people, American Black people, until they started speaking Spanish. But it's just like, it's just a language though, right? It's not just a language. Being Latino isn't just a language, but it's like, I could speak Spanish, which I do, and people would think that I'm Latino, but I don't have that culture. So it's not just a language. So if like his father's is Black, he's not the I know Black Dominicans. He's Black. His family knows they're Black. So, like, he's an Afro-Indigenous Latino. Like, he has his you know, native roots and has those practices too. And I'm an Afro-Indigenous Anglo, I guess. But being Anglo is not a unifier like being Latino is, because just because we speak English doesn't mean anything, but we speak English. There really isn't a shared culture, unless sometimes there is, and there's sometimes overlap, or you were white and you grew up in a Black neighborhood or whatever, or you're Black and you grew up in a white neighborhood, but then it kind of ostracizes you from your other people. So yeah, so I just don't think there's like that. I had to leave him behind. So yes, I just don't think there's that issue where it's like, you're in a space where you'd be ostracized anyway, because everybody has the same culture. So it's not like, oh, you're this ghetto white boy because you grew up over here. Like, no, you all have the same culture because you're Latino, or a very similar culture. And so there isn't a cultural difference between people, or cultural difference when you're dating or whatever. So let me know if I'm wrong though. Like if you're a Latino person, and you have other thoughts about it, let me know. But that's just has been my observances, my perspective from knowing Latinos all my life, and kind of being, on the periphery of that culture. But let me know. And let me know also if you think it would be a good idea if in the US it was more like we have a shared culture or not. Like what is the good and the bad of that? So let me know. Thanks for listening. Thanks for making it through with me. It is very much a struggle to do anything with him. That's the life of a solo mom who's a stay-at-home mom right now. So I will, I guess, catch you in another video. Let me know what you think. Peace. Oh my gosh, I just remembered a point that I wanted to make, because there's also the thing about, over here, like white people can't dance. They dance on, somebody just said before that white people are dancing to the lyrics, which is why it seems like they can't dance, but black people are dancing to the beat, which was like a revelation. I was like, oh my gosh, they're dancing to lyrics. And I asked my brother-in-law, who is white, and he's like, yeah, is everybody dancing to lyrics? And I'm like, no. So it's not even that like white people can't dance because they're dancing to something. But the point is, even if you think white people can't dance, white people can dance in Latin America. It's not like, like it's a magic thing. No, it's because they all have the same culture. They're all dancing to drums. They can dance in Latin America. So that was my other point.